Hey everyone. Today we're going to talk about a line from a movie that I love, that I quote sometimes, but it is absolutely unimportant to the plot. In fact, there's an entire genre of quotes from movies like this, and they're actually the ones that inspired this YouTube channel. These are lines that are, I think, brilliant but unimportant to the plot. So the line or the scene is this from Good Will Hunting.
Double burger? Chuck, I had a double burger.
Would you shut the fuck up? I know what you ordered. I was there.
So give me my fucking sandwich.
You mean your sandwich? I bought it. Morgan, how much money you got on you?
I said I get change when I got the snow cone. I said that before when we pulled up. Why don't you just give me my sandwich and stop being a prick?
All right, well, give me your fucking 16 cents that you got on you now. We'll put your fucking sandwich on layaway. There we go. Keep it right up here for you. We'll put you on a program. Every day you come in with your 6 cents, and at the end of the week, you get your sandwich.
Why you gotta be an asshole?
What am I, fucking sandwich welfare? I think you should establish a good line of credit. You like how you bought your couch? Payment plans. Remember, your mother brought in $10 every day for a year? She finally got a couch Renaissance style.
Can I have my food now, please?
Here's your fucking double burger.
I thought I had a double burger. I used to annoy my friends with that line all the time. If we were in the car, if we had just ordered food, I thought I had a double burger. And this line is delivered early on in the film. This is as you are getting to know Will and his friends. You know, they're from Boston, Southie, or so, you know, they're sort of working class. And in fact, this happens right before they get out of the car, get in a fight with some other people, and get arrested. And of course, that arrest is important to the plot. And from there, Will is ordered to see a therapist, and that's Robin Williams. And you know, the movie goes from there. But obviously, this is just them shooting the shit in the car. In fact, right before this, they were at a Little League baseball game. They don't have kids. They were just there watching the game. Kind of, they knew the players and who was good, and they were watching the game as genuine entertainment.
Come on, Joey Mac.
McNamara's up.
Come on, kid.
Joey, take it out. Take it out. Another pitch.
Lay it down, Mac. That's how to do it.
Attaboy, take two, Mac. Take two.
Anyway, that's it.
Hey, Morgan.
And the reason why this line always stuck with me and why I love it, and other lines like this that we'll look at in other movies, is because they are talking the way I would talk when I was that age. I mean, you know, this movie took place in, I forgot when it came out, in the 90s. You know, when I was around that age, a little younger, and this movie came out, they talked the way I talked with my friends. Me and my friends actually used to joke about how we would go to Little League games when we were older for genuine entertainment. I mean, we never did, but that was a joke that we imagined ourselves doing that. And, you know, they're in the car. One of them is smoking a cigarette. You know, this is, again, before smoking now isn't, you know, very prominent, but, you know, all my friends, we all used to smoke. And this is the way we would talk to each other. In fact, I think in, you know, when Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote this, there was some controversy about the rating that the movie would get. It was rated an R movie, but it was actually close to being rated as NC-17 because of how many F-bombs there were. I think there's over 150 F-bombs. And Matt Damon and Ben Affleck said there was actually more, and they cut it down here and there, and they didn't want to cut out a lot of them. In fact, maybe if they had, they could have maybe gotten like a PG-13, but they didn't want to cut them out because they were writing the way that they would talk. And you can tell, I mean, again, this is a scene where, and there are lots of scenes like this in the movie where the way that they are talking to each other is very familiar to me, is very much the way I would talk with my friends in certain situations. I mean, again, obviously we all wear different masks at different times. They actually even make fun of that later on in the movie when, you know, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are kind of interviewing for these, you know, snobby jobs, and they're kind of playing a character and talking differently. But, you know, in this scene, you can tell this is the way that these characters are meant to talk. And to me, it felt very familiar. I thought I had a double burger, that kind of. And then, of course, Ben Affleck with the ribbing back of, you know, I'm going to put your burger on layaway, and you come in here with your 6 cents a week, and then we'll, you know, at the end of the week, you'll get your sandwich. it's not the accents that do it for me. It's just the actual back and forth, the verbal play, the jousting that they're having that feels very familiar. And so, from Good Will Hunting, everybody, of course, knows the, how do you like them apples, that kind of line. Or, of course, the very last line of the movie from Robin Williams, son of a bitch stole my line. I went to see about a girl. Funny enough, that line was improvised. But that was the line that they ended up going with to end the movie. Robin Williams improvised that. But for me, whenever I think of Good Will Hunting, I think of I thought I had a double burger, because I have both been that guy in the back seat, and I've also been Ben Affleck's character in the front seat. I think I was probably more Ben Affleck's character. In fact, I was usually the sort of designated driver, especially for my high school friends. I wasn't the biggest drinker, not to go into my, I'm not, a Good Will Hunting story, but of my friends, I was probably the most well off. I did have friends who were more of a working class background. And anyways, the point being is this scene, there are lots of scenes like this in other movies. And these are the scenes that actually, oddly enough, stay in my head and inspire me. I think that I'm not the only one, maybe not with this specific scene, but I think we all have movies where there's a line that isn't important to the plot, but they're the lines that stick with us for some reason. And I want to come up with a name for that genre of quote. I don't know what to call it right now, but it's like the unimportant but monumental quote. A quote that isn't important to the storyline or to the plot, could easily be taken out, but by having it, it's so memorable and it just captures something about the characters. And this scene really does capture the characters. Like, you could just watch this one scene, and again, the whole version, the idea of Good Will Hunting is this, again, working class guy, but he's super smart. You don't get that from Good Will in this scene because he hardly talks, but you know where he's coming from. You know that group of people. You know those friends. You can relate to them. And so it builds that character out, those characters. Anyways, just wanted to share it. I might be the only one who has had this line stuck in his head for forever, but wanted to go over it. As always, like and subscribe, and tell me what you think we should call these types of quotes that are not important to the plot but memorable, and tell me if there are any scenes like that from movies that you love. Peace.